Hey, what's up, everybody? Josh Ferrari here. Today, I'm going to be pulling back the curtain. I'm going to be giving you the inside scoop on how I've actually gone about building my multifamily portfolio of over 650 units in just 21 months, and how that ultimately allowed me to be able to quit my day job, quit the 9 to 5 in as little as 21 months and at the age of only 25. So let's jump in. So, how would you like, thinking about your own personal life, how would you like to be able to generate passive income that allows you to quit your 9 to 5, allows you to quit your job within 1 to 3 years? How does that sound? Right? I mean, that sounds absolutely life-changing. And so what we're going to go over today, everything that I've learned, everything that I've done up until this point, these are the exact same principles that I teach my students that has allowed them to begin closing deals, raising capital, and ultimately seeing huge success in little to no time at all. One of my students, Luke, he actually closed his first multifamily deal in the first 60 days of joining. Isn't that absolutely insane? I mean, 60 days. It's absolutely crazy. And not only that, it was his first time raising capital. And after teaching him the exact same principles of how I've raised over $15 million in the last 2 years, he was able to raise all of the capital he needed for his first deal in just 2 weeks. Now, another one of my students, Chris, he got his first deal under contract in the first 60 days of joining. After teaching him the exact principles that I use for finding deals, he was able to not only get the deal under contract, but begin raising the capital that he'll need for his first deal of over $1.7 million. How'd you like to, in the first 60 days of making a decision to get into the multifamily business, get a deal under contract, and a deal so large that you're now raising $1.7 million? Not only that, but then being able to successfully do so, being surrounded by the right group of people. Now, another one of my students, guys, if you haven't been able to tell yet, this isn't something that I'm telling you about that doesn't actually work for people. I'm giving you these examples because they are working for people day in and day out. Another one of my students, Jason, he, on his third deal, is already tackling a $27 million acquisition. I'm walking him through step by step exactly how to raise the entire $7.5 million that he needs for his third, literally just his third multifamily deal. And when he closes, when the deal closes, he will walk away from the closing table with over $545,000 in his pocket from the acquisition fee alone, giving him enough to ultimately be able to quit his job and be a full-time real estate investor in 6 to 12 months of joining the business. Absolutely crazy. Now, guys, the truth is, most people look at their life and they know that their 9 to 5 is really only going to get them so far. There's something missing in their life. They feel this weight on their shoulders that really can never be removed. They're always being tied down to the 9 to 5. They're never getting to fully experience life with their family. They're feeling the financial pressure of life moving on, while your financial status feels as though it really never will. But then they find it, right? Real estate. This is it. This is what will finally get me out of this job, spending more time doing the things that I love with the people that I love. But ultimately, that's when the real problems start. Because now you have to figure out how to purchase a multifamily building. How do you even find the deal in the first place? How do you determine if it's even a good deal? What's even a good market to invest in? How do you acquire the capital to be able to close the deal? Ultimately, how do you make this dream a reality? And the truth is, there's a very simple process to not only answer all of the questions for you, but solve them as well. A blueprint that gives you all the answers, all the simple steps to take to build your dream of owning apartment buildings. And it's literally the same exact process that I went through to retire in just 21 months in the business. And it's the same process that my students are using to achieve massive success in as little as 60 days. What's up, everybody? My name is Josh Ferrari. I started investing in the business literally just 21 months ago. I now have over 650 units, over $50 million assets under management. Currently have another 40 million under contract. I've had the privilege of being able to raise over 15 to $20 million from various passive investors over the last 21 months. I started a podcast 21 to 24 months ago that now has over 500,000 downloads. And I started a mastermind that now has seen success time and time again to other investors. And I also was able to quit and retire my 9-to-5 at the ripe old age of 25 years old with as little as 21 months of actual investing experience, actually closing deals from the exact same principles that we're going to go through right now. So let's just dive right in, right? Let's jump right in. What are we talking about today? Well, there are three main principles that I'm going to be sharing with you today. And that is, what three things are successful investors doing that everyone else is not? What's the biggest mistake I see newbie investors make that prevents them from being successful? And the simple, repeatable, proven system that's guaranteed to generate your first deal within just 12 months. So if you're brand new or seasoned investor who wants to have a streamlined process to build a predictable passive income stream and get on the fast track to multifamily investing, then you're definitely in the right place. Now, the top three categories of people that I prefer to actually work with are, number one, we have new investors who have no experience in real estate and are looking for the best possible way to build true wealth, and they want to do it quickly. Number two, we have investors who are already doing multifamily real estate, but they're looking to make their next deal much easier, more profitable, and rapidly accelerating their success. And then lastly, we have investors who are in the buy and flip game or residential rental game who are looking to accelerate their passive income potential. Now, my students have utilized these principles time and time again to see massive results. I mean, if we just go back to the two of the guys that I was just talking to you about earlier, after closing his first deal in just 60 days, Luke already has a second deal under contract and is rapidly raising capital again and working towards closing it. And Jason, in just his first 12 months, already has his third deal under contract and has built the machine to continue closing deals quickly and effectively. Now, the best thing about this predictable system to become financially free with real estate is that you don't need to have any experience, right? When I got started in the business, no experience. I teach you how to do all of your deals without using your own money. Now, can you use your own money if you have it? Absolutely. But if you don't have any, there is a way to build wealth in this business without using your own money. And third, it's based on proven results. Well, now there are really two different kinds of investors in this business. The first one we have is the rainmakers, people who are absolutely crushing it. They're making more and more money, spending less and less time. And the second group of people that we have are the grinders, people who attempt to build wealth by buying and flipping houses or getting into the single family rental game. They make a profit most of the time, but they just spend way too much time making too little. So after being in the business for over 4 years, I've realized that there's really only three main differences between the two. Number one is focus. Number two is support. Number three is a network. Those are ultimately the three keys that will allow you to build passive income rapidly, specifically through multifamily investing. So let's dive into each one. The first one, focus. If there's anything that stumps a new investor more, it's a lack of focus. I mean, let's be honest. Even investors who've purchased a multifamily deal before get tripped up by the same obstacle when they look to expand and accelerate their growth. At the end of the day, it's not that an investor's not trying hard enough or that they aren't paying attention. It's rather that they just really don't know how and which metrics are the most important to focus on. They end up trying to learn everything about multifamily, which just then you have no focus. You're all over the place. So remember, you don't need tons of experience to get your first deal. You just need to focus on the levers that are actually going to move the financial dial for you. And so to give you a quick example, it's important early on in the process to get clarity on the exact type of property you're willing to invest in. And not only that, but what type of market actually is going to support the investment that you're interested in. Once you have absolute clarity up front, you can then focus exclusively on finding that one deal. Your path to financial freedom becomes shorter when you aren't wasting a single second looking at quote unquote deals that really aren't meeting your criteria. They're not making any sense. You wouldn't be interested in buying them anyway. You could maybe don't even have the capacity to buy a deal that large or that far away from your target market anyway. Why waste the time even looking at it? Now, this type of focus also helps you build relationships with brokers 10 times faster, which I'm going to be honest, that is the number one best way to get deals in the commercial multifamily space. When you call a broker looking for specific properties, they know you're the real deal. When you're talking like, I want this, and this, and here's the market, here's the location I want it in, they get this sense that you really know who you are, what you're talking about, and that you have the capacity to actually close the deal. Now compare that with the investor who calls a broker and just says, hey, what do you got? Give me any deal that you got. I'm interested. A generic question like that, it makes the broker really feel like you have absolutely no idea what you're doing. You don't have any focus. You don't know what you're doing. You're not going to be able to close the deal. Why are they going to send you deals if they know you can't close? Now, there's also a way to contact brokers so that they give you access to the off-market deals. And at the end of the day, that is ultimately where the true magic happens. Now, number two, what's number two? Number two is support. You need people around you who are going to support you. You need peers you can bounce ideas off of and get real-time help in real-world situations. If at any time during a deal, you start running into obstacles, you get the deal under contract, you start going through the due diligence process, let's be honest, you're almost always going to run into obstacles, as I have found time and time again on every single deal that we get under contract. You need the confidence that you can reach out to the right person and get an immediate solution to the problem. Make sure that your support network has actually been there, done that. Not just connecting with any Joe Blow that doesn't really know what they're talking about, that you think is supporting you or you feel like they're supporting you. In other words, make sure that they actually have their own portfolio. They've seen what happens when a multifamily deal goes under contract. They know the ropes during due diligence. And what you would like is that they've already quit their jobs. They're already where you want to be. And so they can become your support group. They can become your mentor. They can become your business partner. It's really going to help you get you where you want to be. And number three, network. Building a strong network. Investing in multifamily is a highly interpersonal business. Deals are only done where there's trust. I mean, you got to trust someone. They have to trust you in order for anything to actually happen. When you look at the multifamily business, it's best viewed honestly as a team sport. I mean, those who build a network and a team accelerate success in the most amazing ways. Now, let me give you an example. If you're out there and you have a deal under LOI, letter of intent, but you don't have all the money raised, you don't have all the capital or the capacity to do so, you better have one or more capital raisers that you've built relationships with. So you find the deal, they bring the money. Or we flip it vice versa. If you've been really successful at attracting capital, raising money, but you have no deals, you have no idea how to find deals, you have no key relationships with brokers, you hopefully have networked with a strong operator who does have the deal. So you can bring the capital and ultimately create a win-win scenario. At the end of the day, your network is everything. It simplifies and accelerates literally everything. Those who don't build a network but try to do everything on their own in isolation struggle and barely, rarely, or almost never succeed. Now, take me, for example. My wife and I, we tried investing in our first fourplex all by ourselves, and we just failed miserably. We lost $60,000 trying to do it all ourselves with no one to turn to, no focus, no support, no network. But then you fast forward to today, and I'm retired. What did I do differently? Well, I got laser focused. I built out my vivid vision. I found some key supporting people in my life and business, my mentor, and I built a strong network. So where do you start, right? At the end of the day, watching this video simply isn't enough. It's a great first step. Great. Absolutely awesome. But now it's really time to take the next step and the next step and the next step. Everything we've gone over today at the end of the day is but a glimpse into what I teach twice a week to all of my students. Now, if you'd like to be like Luke, Chris, or Jason, and have your first deal closed in 60 days or less of making this decision, the true next step for you is to make the decision that this business is even for you and that you can do it. Guys, I hope today I have shined some light on the concepts and principles and teachings and knowledge behind what it takes to actually become a successful multifamily investor, how you can do it yourself, and ultimately how you can quit your 9-to-5 in a very, very short time frame. Cannot wait to see you on the other side.